All right, party people, let's start our unit on chemistry. I guess a good place to start is to ask ourselves, what is chemistry? I think probably a lot of people think this is what we're talking about. Something that's sort of ethereal and done in a lab and by really smart people, but in fact, this is chemistry too. Cooking is chemistry. Because chemistry, as it turns out, it's just the study of matter. What substances that matter is made of, how it was made, and how it changes. That certainly applies to cooking, doesn't it? That also applies to our garden, for instance. How did the matter in the soil of our garden become corn or tomatoes? Turns out there were some chemical changes and some energy changes, and that's how we get food. So chemistry is something that we actually encounter every day, every minute of every day of our lives. Well, I guess to understand what we're talking about with the study of matter, we should probably define matter. What do you think? So matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. And this can be a little bit confusing, so we're going to talk about it some more because how much space something takes up doesn't necessarily mean how much matter it has. You can pack a lot of matter into a small space and then find out you can pack even more matter into that small space. But all matter takes up some space. And again, this is not anything new. We've talked about matter, and you've probably learned about it in other science classes. Matter exists in different states: gas, liquid, solid. So we, for instance, are a solid. Our person, our bodies are solids. The chairs we're sitting on are solids. The air we breathe is a gas. The water we drink is a liquid, right? But these all have matter. They're all made of stuff. Well, we can get even smaller, as it turns out, and find out that the particles that make up our stuff come from a finite list of elements. So all of these elements combine in some way under different circumstances and under different conditions to make different things. But everything's made of the stuff you see on the periodic table. And I think you've probably seen this before. Whether or not you are very familiar with it doesn't matter. We're going to get into that a little bit more. But that's it. That's chemistry in a nutshell. We can go from very big to very small, right, to subatomic particles, and we're going to learn what all of that means. But ultimately, it is just a study of stuff, how stuff is made, what it's made of, how it changes, and it affects absolutely every aspect of our lives. Now, to do an investigation of chemistry, we need to understand the scientific method, and that's the subject of the next video.